Hello everyone, welcome to AutoDAP webinar series for Automotive Aftermarket. I'm Pavak Shah, CSO at AutoDAP, and today's topic is Smarten Up your parts catalog. We are waiting for some attendees to join in, so we'll wait for just a couple of more minutes, wait for them and start in a few minutes. You might want to grab a cup of coffee and a tub of popcorn while you are waiting for us to start. We have some exciting stuff by our speakers. Okay, I think we'll start now. We were waiting for a few attendees to join in that we were expecting, and they are over here. So again, hello everyone. Welcome to AutoDAP webinar series for Automotive Aftermarket. I'm Pavak Shah, CSO at AutoDAP, and today's topic is Smarten Up your parts catalog. Smart data is reshaping the automotive aftermarket industry. Yet most of the organizations are not able to get the expected outcomes from their existing parts catalog and other digital assets. So are you looking for enhancing the output of existing catalogs, improve the accuracy, reduce parts return? Then this webinar is for you. To share their automotive aftermarket insights and strategies to tackle industry challenges with technology innovation, we have Mr. Pascal. Pascal is the CEO of AutoFacets France. He is a recognized expert in mobility area worldwide since more than 30 years. He frequently shares automotive thought leadership through multiple events and press, and he is here today to share the same with us. We have Mr. Valentijn, popularly known as Thijs. Thijs is CSD of AutoFacets. Thijs has more than 25 years of experience in product innovation and IT product ownership in the European automotive industry. He has managed the development of B2C online consumer platforms and B2B automotive spare parts retail platforms for large European parts distributors like LKQ and Sator. So we are glad to have him over here to share his experience. We also have Mr. Pradhan. Samir is the CTO of AutoDAP. He brings in 24 years of industry experience in technology evangelism with R&D initiatives focused on the automotive aftermarket specifically. He has been working with some of the leading automotive aftermarket players, building end-to-end smart automotive parts platform with integrated repair and service solutions. So this esteemed panelist will shed light on the differentiator of the traditional and the smart automotive parts cataloging as we see it. They'll help us discover how smart data is transforming automotive parts purchase experience and how AutoDAP Daas modules can deliver desired dividends and sustainable business growth for automotive aftermarket players. Of course, at the end of the webinar, I would be back with you and I'll share with you the details of to get the exclusive access to our demo portal. So stay till the end and I'll share those details. So by end of this webinar, you will have a handful of strategies to implement in your regular business setup. And we are sure that you will be able to set a new competitive benchmark in the industry. The presentation by our host speakers will take around 30 minutes. We have a dedicated Q&A session after that. I would request you to send your questions in the Q&A window and we will take them up during that session. I would now invite Thijs to take over the interactions. Thank you.
Thank you, Pavak. Hello, everyone. The automotive aftermarket industry have been facing major challenges before, and it's not this ongoing crisis. The solution very often have been an increased IT digitalization. And although that the industry embraced IT, we see that there's still a long way to go in maximizing these potentials. One of the major challenges within the automotive is an effective parts supply. Pascal, I'd like to ask you, in your opinion, what are some of the major challenges faced by today's industry in their current EPCs, the electronic parts catalog, or in their e-commerce platforms?
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Thijs, for asking. In my experience, the problem begins with being able to identify the right make, the right model, the right variant, the right year, the right type, and eventually also the right trim of a vehicle. And that is extremely important to make sure you get the right information.
Yes, yeah, I recognize that. And this is the vehicle search, which in the end effect results into multiple options of replacement parts and makes it difficult to choose from. Samir, with your experience, why do you think this is happening?
Hi all. Well, as we all know, majority of the parts catalog which are there in the European Union countries are based on data aggregated by multiple consortiums or groups from the aftermarket parts manufacturers. And all the data which is there for these parts is usually mapped to the make, model, type variant, and not usually never takes into consideration things like what are the options or what are the smaller variants like the trims, etc. for the vehicle. And that is what actually causes multiple parts to be available for the same vehicle.
Yeah, I agree. And this is the way that current digitized web catalog works. You see that they enter a license plate into a system that is being deciphered and it's being mapped into a category for creating the parts index search. Usually it's what you say, driven by a make, a model, a type variant. Sometimes you choose a selection of the year. And the EPCs will never consider classifications like trimline or the optional installed features on the vehicle as an additional selection in their catalogs.
Yeah, that is very true. And what this does is, like as I said, it can you can get 2 to 6 parts per model which is actually selected, and then it becomes difficult for the garages to order as well as difficult for the part sellers because they have to maintain larger inventories.
Oh yes, I confirm. I've been working closely with the fleet industry, and I can see that this is causing a lot of impact in managing costs of ownership and cost of services of a vehicle. The same type of vehicle can have a brake disc which costs 60 euro or another one costing 100 euro. I can just imagine the issue the parts sellers must be facing in terms of inventories, returns, and the customer also in terms of selecting the wrong parts and all delays involved.
Yeah, and that piece is actually a major issue where all the part retailers across Europe struggle with. I think it's a dream for the parts retailers to have web catalogs which actually would resolve this issue by multiple parts and making the data more precise and for sure that vehicle definition accurately. And if you identify that piece then correctly, it will not only reduce the return of the part, but I think it will the overall digital customer experience is being improved by helping the people select and buy the right parts on the first time. I think discussed earlier, the parts manufacturer data is very often based on the vehicle type, and it's not on the actual configuration of the vehicle. So what we call the build sheet. Hence why the precise vehicle identification mapped to vehicle configuration is crucial. And when this is done on a too generic level, you see that it results in what you just mentioned, the possible parts, and not the exact part which is suitable for this specific vehicle. Question is, does a workshop really need to order all possible parts that might fit? Samir, you have developed methodologies for much smarter ways of addressing this inaccurate parts mapping problematic. What is your answer on this question?
Yes, we have been looking at multiple items, and based on that, what we have understood over a period of time is to utilize the VIN number of the vehicle to uniquely identify the vehicle, and then pick up the information pertaining to the trim and the optional equipment that was loaded on the vehicle when it was delivered. What this does is it ensures that using this information, we are able to identify the exact part that is required for that specific vehicle. And well, that is the precision that we try to bring in with the data sets that we are developing.
Okay, this sounds interesting. So you're actually utilizing the VIN number to identify the exact part. Can you tell us a bit more? How does it work?
Yes, what we have done is we have created a platform called AutoDAP, which is data as a service platform. In this platform, we utilize the VIN number as the baseline. Utilizing the VIN number, we are able to actually filter out the equipment which would be fitted on that specific VIN precise vehicle, filter out information pertaining to engine codes, transmissions, etc. for that specific vehicle, and utilize that information in conjunction with the parts catalogs in the market to actually provide the exact mapping of the parts data. As you can see on the screen, out of 3 parts which were possible for that model, based on the model variant type, now we are able to figure out just the one single part which is relevant for that specific car. And that is the kind of a precision we are able to bring in.
That's
Pascal,
key.
what is your experience on this?
Yeah, that's a key point, because non-relevant data is often the reason why over-ordering is taking place. If you have the capacity to filter the catalog data with DAS, it makes possible to get the accurate parts on the first time. And this is interesting because it reduces, obviously, the returns to the sellers. And this is very important, because returns means delays and costs.
Yeah, Samir, I saw on the slide that you're actually trimming down the result, of a few items into one. But sometimes, and that is actually what we're aiming for. So the one single part in the catalog and not the alternatives. But sometimes you see that the catalog, they don't have parts in the EPC. So we call it the so-called white spots in the catalog. And instead of you're showing the part number, you don't have a part number, we might actually want to show the OEM numbers in that case. Is that possible? Is there a solution for that?
Yes, we, along with working for actually being able to get the information for the vehicle, we have also been aggregating data pertaining to the OEM parts for vehicles. And we are able to provide all the OEM parts which are relevant for a specific vehicle, specifically focused towards the service and repair of the vehicle, and provide those parts as a normalized listing from different brands into one central kind of a system. So we can fill in those white spot gaps, as you call them.
Yeah, excellent. So when using the DAS modules that you have developed, it helps determining the correct part more easily for a mechanic. This reduces the time that is needed to search the part, but you can also even make it possible even to order parts when the customer is not in the workshop yet. So you can start already pre-ordering parts for a car, speeding up the logistical process. Because of the accuracy of that platform, it's not needed to have the vehicle in-house and to check and to verify the things. So that means by this process on the parts distributor side, it actually results in lesser returns due to the fact, as what Pascal mentioned, over-ordering is not needed anymore. Less returns means also less handling and repacking costs, and this could have even a positive impact on inventory stock levels for retailers, because they simply need less parts in their stock because they don't ship out so many wrong parts.
Oh yes, you're right, Heath. The higher first time, the right time means also for the customer, the higher guarantee that the car is ready on the same day. But even certain jobs can be done with the customer waiting instead of using a courtesy car or loan car, which is another saving. So it seems a win-win situation or win-win-win situation because all three parties are winning. The parts supplier, the mechanics, and the driver is also winning. So everybody is happy. On the part distributor side, there might be less return due to the fact over-ordering is not needed again, which means also less handling and repacking costs. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. So let me summarize. Yeah? The benefits of the Daas modules for smartening of your parts catalog will be as what you call the increased first time the right time of the parts. If there are less returns, you also have less logistic handling efforts. We see an improved turnaround time. Overall, it increases the operational efficiency, so it's beneficial to a lot. And I think the most, and not to underestimate, important issue is that the customer delight or the user journey that we all call it from the application will actually becomes to a higher level. So the impact is not only the order process, it's overall efficiency, which is actually critical for a sustained competitive advantage. I think, Pascal, you mentioned earlier, as some of our customers have been introducing this and working with this, they see a 75 to 80% reduction in parts, which actually directly impacts the cost reductions and bottom line cost. So it's amazing. Yeah. With these benefits in mind, I would like to introduce to the audience the AutoDAP and highlight some of the details around the AutoDAP platform. The AutoDAP platform consists of a few data as a service modules. These solutions are available for IAM part retail markets. We see that aftermarket workshop concepts are using the data. Of course, used car parts dismantlers, a really new group of people entering our markets. But also in crash repair, we see insurance, fleet, and lead company actually can benefit from this data. The Daas modules that we have are available on a monthly subscription basis, and they cover more than 40 OEM brands across the European car park. We are focusing with the Daas modules on the regions like United Kingdom, Europe, and the Nordics. Other regions are considered in the nearby future or on a special request. AutoDAP Daas modules are available for precise vehicle information, including, I think Samir already mentioned it, OEM build sheets, OE numbers, but also repair and maintenance information. And within the AutoDAP platform, we are also working on solutions around AI-driven damage assessment using cloud computing, virtual dismantling, and PIM tooling. Our modules are APIs which are actually integratable in either homegrown solutions or commercial platforms. And it can be done by consuming these web services with JSON responses into the processing or the workflows that you currently have in your applications. To go a bit deeper on that, Samir, can you elaborate a bit more on the details of the modules that you've mentioned during your talk earlier?
Yeah. So if I have to look at the primary module, which is called the VINVIS or Win to Vehicle Information Service, we have a section where we cover the basic data of the vehicle, where we try to, not only figure out the baseline information, but also go into the details of what is the engine code like of the vehicle, what is the engine description, transmission code, fuel, color of the vehicle, the exact wheel rim specification, tires, additional spare wheel tire information, TPMS information, and the dimension sheet as well as the performance sheet of the vehicle, including stuff like WLTP emissions, which is slowly becoming quite an important thing in the market. So we cover this in the basic information. Post this, we also have something known as the extended data. Now, the extended data tends to focus on what is the standard equipment fitted on the vehicle, the optional equipment fitted on the vehicle, and if the vehicle has got any ADAS sensors in it. So now this is relevant, like when you are talking about windshields, so ADAS sensors become very important because you have different windshields for different ADAS sensors and they require different kinds of calibration. So that is a very big challenge which the market faces. Apart from that, the standard equipment tells us exactly like what kind of a brake system the vehicle has, what suspension does that vehicle specifically have. So it tries to like give that information to us, which allows us to actually filter out multiple choices for the brakes, multiple choices for suspension, and then provide just the right one for that specific vehicle, as we call it VIN precise paths. And then second module that we discussed is the VIS OEP module. This is the module where we try to give you the OEP data, or the original equipment parts information. And in this, we basically have normalized the data using something called OE group IDs, which is same across all the brands. And then we are able to provide you with the part numbers, the part text, or the part name of the vehicle, the quantity of the part required in the system, in the vehicle, the succession numbers or the alternate numbers for those parts, and any extra information pertaining to the parts attributes, brands, etc. in that same data. So in a whole, this is the two main services that we talked about for the what do you call, the smartening of the catalogs.
Yeah. I even know that we have the assembly pictures of the components that we of the smart
yes,
data.
we have some pictures. We have a couple of other stuff also. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it really looks amazing. Everything based on the VIN number. So, and I like the term VIN precise, as you pronounced. So VIN precise data. I think we really have discussed some interesting aspects in smartening up your catalogs data, and it looks like definitely there are some enhancements to make for e-commerce platforms or EPCs or even procedures that you have within a GMS or DMS within workshop or workshop concepts. Yeah, Pavak, I think you in the beginning you had something interesting for the attendees who were listening until the end.
Yeah, basically I'm waiting for some interesting questions to come up from the attendees at this point of time. So if they have any questions, they can give the questions in the Q&A box, which is there on the right side of your screen.
So please, for the attendees, if you have questions about the data, which Shamir can answer, or if you have questions to Pascal about his experience that he had with the ITGs and working on those items, please, type in the box the question. We'll give you an answer.
I believe Kari has raised his hand for some. I believe he would like to ask a question.
Yeah.
Yes, Kari, you can go ahead and ask the question.
Hello. Hello, Samir. Nice to meet you. I ask you about the speed of the service. How fast is the speed of your service today?
Kari, actually, I was unable to hear your question. There seems to be some disturbance from somewhere.
Yeah, I'm also hearing disturbance, yes.
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. I can come in the line, but I was asking about the speed. How fast is the service today? How fast?
I think
it's reasonably fast. It's reasonably fast now for the Nordic regions, where we have been able to pre-provision the data for most of the Nordic countries now. And we are working in the same format for now for France and Germany also. So things are improving there.
Okay. Good. And if I may, a second question: have you been able to influence the factors to add their so that the PR numbers and etc. would be easily found? Like now, you had the PR code in the data, then other manufacturers haven't. So that has been a bit of a problem.
it was difficult to understand you. Could all the speakers please go on mute if the question is being asked? Then then we can hear Kari speak out clearly, I think. So if everybody wants to go on mute, and Kari, would you be so kind to rephrase your question again? Sorry for that.
Yes, thank you. I was just asking whether you have had the opportunity or found a way to influence the part manufacturers that they would be adding the necessary data to their own data, so that this system would be easier to get, for example, the right PR codes for VAG cars, which like TRW has had them for a long time, but other manufacturers haven't. So it has been a struggle to then identify the right parts, for example, Bosch or other manufacturers.
Yes, we could not actually convince the parts manufacturers to put the data in, although some of them have started putting it because of the competition. But we have managed to create our own systems which allow us to enhance the existing catalogs of our customers to actually get that data into them. So, and we have been successful with at least 2 customers already to do the same implementation.
Sounds good. Thank you.
And we have been able to extend this data even across other brands now, not just the VAG vehicles.
In addition to that, Kari, I've been working with the industry quite long on cataloging. You see that a lot of the manufacturers actually, they are not interested on going into a level deeper in their catalog because it makes them complex for them. So depending on the part suppliers, and you already mentioned a few TRW and Bosch, they actually have quite good catalogs themselves, but still they group certain vehicles in order to make the parts catalog in their eyes more comprehensive. So it's always a struggle to get the right part manufacturer's piece into an OEM data mapping. And that's why I think Samir already said the VinPrecise data mapping on OE parts is a crucial element to filter out as much as possible as these in the manufacturer catalogs are being grouped. But it's a long way. Pavak, do we have more questions?
We also have a question from Julian. He has raised his hands. Julian, if it is possible, can you just type your question, because it seems since you are joining in from the web interface, I'm not able to provide you with the audio access. Okay, Julian has a question about the business model. A Win lookup is usually greater than €1 per search from car makers. Are you in such a price range? So Julian, we can surely discuss the rates with you. Yes, our VinVis service would be more cost effective than the search rate that you have mentioned. The business model that we have is we have a per lookup rate, which is based on number of lookups per month, and there is a minimum number of monthly lookups that are defined, and a minimum monthly subscription is there across the services. And depending on the service usage, the extent of the service, whether it is VinVis plus Vis OEP, there can be different lookup rates. So let's be in touch and we can discuss that. But yes, the business model is that we charge per lookup for minimum number of lookups per month. So there is a minimum monthly subscription fee that is there to be paid.
I think, Pavak, it's good to mention that if you key in a VIN number multiple times during the day, you'll not be charged multiple times. So you can access a certain VIN number for a certain amount of time.
Yeah. I mean, Thijs, we can. That again depends on from customer to customer. So let's. So Julian, I'll reach out to Julian, and we'll discuss that. Julian, do you have any other question? Okay, I have a question from Tim Hudson. He asks, he says, love the product. Who is the contact point for the UK, please? So, so Tim, email us at marketing@autodap.parts or info@autodap.parts or pavak@autodap.parts. I'll send you the message right now, and I can introduce you to our UK team, which is out of London, and you can meet them anytime. So I'll get you in touch with them. Thank you. So yeah, we do not have any further questions. So the speakers, do you think you would like to address some point which you believe we can elaborate on?
I think if there are no more questions, I think it's good to elaborate a bit more on the.
Okay, we have one more question. Is it possible to link recognized Darwin to Tech Talk ID by Mikola Gladky? So yes. Yeah,
yes,
Samir.
that is possible.
Yeah,
yes, that
that's
is possible.
Yeah. So Mikola, yes, that is possible. Okay. I see some interesting names over here. So just wanted to know if they have any questions. Okay, then I think there are no more questions. I'll be in touch with all of you by email. You'll also get a survey link. Now about the demo portal access. So that's a big surprise for today, right? So what we are offering is that we are going to offer you a demo portal access where you would be able to check out 50 lookups for WindVis. So you would be able to give the VIN number just the way Samir showed during the presentation, and the results that he showed during the presentation, they would be available to you for those 50 lookups. So all you have to do is you have to fill up the survey. The survey would come up as soon as this session is over. So please fill it up and submit it so we can be in touch with you to set up the demo portal access for you. We will be in touch with each of you separately to understand what might be your requirements, and we would then also guide you through the demo portal for you to get the best output out of it. So fill up the survey as soon as this webinar is done. I don't see any further questions. So wow, this was good. This was exact half an hour as we had planned. So so thank you all, and I look forward to be in touch with you, all of you. My colleagues and I can be speaking with you for any queries that you might have. We also have local geographical teams spread across Europe, which we can leverage for your needs, for the integration needs that might be there. So so let's keep in touch, and let's speak soon. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, speakers. Thank you, Samir. Thank you, Pascal. Thank you, Thijs.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Thank you, everybody, for the participants and the speakers.
Thank you.
Hope to get in touch soon.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye.